Welcome to MCX IPF Commodity Ki Baatein powered by Money Control. Over the next hour, a panel of eminent experts in the field of commodities will take you through the nuances of investing in commodities and also some of the safe practices that you need to adopt. I would like to call on stage Mr. Chittaranjan Rege, who heads base metals at MCX. So Mr. Rege, can I please call you over? And now I would like to call on stage our experts for this morning. Let me begin with Mr. Paresh Shah, who is the whole-time director at PCF Securities and PCF Commodities. Ramesh Varakhetkar, who is the director at Carby Comtrade. Who is Managing Director, Cap Gold Private Limited. So, Ramesh, I will begin with asking you. Most of the people in the audience here are largely retail investors with not much prior experience of the commodities market. So, why do you think commodities is important, is an important asset that investors should be having in their portfolios?
India, the growth story, we have been talking about roti, kapda, makan, which is obviously commodities. Now to add to it, it's mobile and automobile. So everything is commodity. So day in, day out, we use commodities. We are exposed to it, so we need to get into commodities. We have been using those products, and there is a good opportunity to trade on those commodities and also to make money as a part of portfolio diversification. So that's how I think every retail investor should get into commodities also.
Okay, I would like to ask Paresh and also Chanda to kind of add on to that. Paresh, would you like to say something on that?
Yeah, see, gold, which is I think, a very liquid commodity. I'll give you just example. In India, if you see in the marriages also, the gold will be given by the parents and the in-laws both to a girl, because they think that this is the safest commodity which will help when there is a financial stress. And if you see that gold prices are moving whenever there is a financial stress, it is called as a hedge crisis also. I think retail investor should come into the commodities. This is also one of the asset class, like the equity, you invest in the mutual fund. This is also one of the asset class, and they have to come into the commodities. See, and particularly hedgers are very much there in the commodity market, as you have given an example of the transformers. So many jewelers are hedging everything, but as an investment tool also, there is many commodities which retail investors should look into it.
Yeah, Chanda, you would like to add to that?
Yeah, basically commodities is a very basic thing. Like it is required for every users, like gold, silver, copper, everything like this is related to as a mankind life, because those things are very required for us, our daily needs. Like gold, like a female, they keep on buying on gold because they feel this is a very safe security in the world. For them, gold is like very precious for them, even though silver. So even for the marriages or any other occasions, without gold, it cannot be your part of life. As per an expert says that gold, like marriages, like minimum requirement of postal tado, like we will say about it. It is a 500 ton of gold requirement for the Indian marriages. Mm-hmm. That is a basic requirement. So that 500 tons, Indian market will consume for the basic marriage requirement. I'm not talking about studded jewelry or any other things. If those things come in, like it maybe go to 800 tons or 900 tons like that. So commodities are very essential thing, and it is very useful for the daily needs or investment purpose and savings purpose. As Sir said, like security wise, everything it can be useful for it actually.
Chittaranjan, could you tell us what is the trend that you've been observing on MCX? Is retail participation on the rise?
Yes. Just picking up from what the gentleman said, in my opinion, see, what happens is what we realize on ground, that lot of awareness is needed for people to really realize that how many probably segments are available for them to invest. So choice of investment naturally becomes very easy for them, because relating to any other market segment, rupee dollar or equity market, which is anybody's guess, versus knowing what is happening to say gold silver, and for that matter any other infrastructure related investment like base metals. Moment they realize that the application point of view, it's very easy to guess, and the resultant, this thing is also easy to manage. The affection or probably inclination toward other asset classes grows once they are aware the choices with them. So our effort has always been to reach out to the wider audiences, wider geographies, to tell them that there are other investment avenues, and it has been very productive. If you see the kind of spread, numbers tell us more, informed this thing, that across India, more and more the spread of awareness, and with the members reaching out to their clients and telling them what all avenues are there, the excitement about commodities has only have grown. With the additional set of participants and the broking entities which are coming into the market, I am sure our reach will go further. While we are at cusp of this, I would reiterate our the message to everyone that it is important to realize that nothing comes for free. So identifying is one. They need to be educated about individual scripts within the commodity market to really go and have a investment on that. So my feeling is that the participation is growing, and wider geographies which are still untapped are coming into the fold, and those the markets is only going to see a wider participation in time to come.
So Paresh, could you tell us, so we just spoke about why it's important for retail investors to have a bit of commodities in their portfolio. Now, as far as the producers are concerned, the industries, from a hedging point of view, could you just tell us why it is also important, not just for retail investors to have it as a means of capital appreciation, but also for producers, how this commodities hedging actually benefits them?
Gold is hedged by the producers as well as the miners. As suppose you are bidding for some tender where copper usage is more, and you are bidding with certain price, current market price of copper, you are bidding it, okay, and you got a tender. Now what you will do, you have to supply this material for maybe 1 year, 2 year, whatever the contract period says. So for this to supply over there, what is your requirement, that you have to buy on a futures market at the current price, and you have to, while quoting at the tender, you will calculate the cost of the renewal cost of this particular commodity, and you can bid accordingly. So at the same price what you bid at, whether copper price goes up or down, you are able to make the profit what you have decided as per the tender. So this is the requirement. Now jewelers are there, okay, jewelers are having a jewelry in their shops, okay, and they have that the gold prices may go down, and I am having a stock of almost 20 kgs of gold. What they will do, they will just sell in the futures market gold of worth 20 kgs, and they will wait for the fall. Otherwise, they don't want to play with the price. They will just hedge it whatever they are having in the shop. This is how it will help the hedgers.
Okay, Ramesh, you would like to add to that?
Yeah, as we are in city of Hyderabad, as we are doing the program here, there are a lot of manufacturers here of fan. Right? It's been the third-party manufacturers for most of the large brands here. So they have exposure to copper, they have exposure to aluminum. So this is the great platform for them to come and hedge on this particular platform on MCX. And definitely, as Mr. Paresh said, they can lock in their price and they can lock in their profits. So it's not only on that, but a lot of, again, Hyderabad is also famous for a lot of infrastructure companies. So they can come for steel, they can come for zinc, and they'll be able to hedge on this. Cotton is again a big product. We have a Warangal as a delivery center for MCX. Adilabad is a big base, Chilgluripeta. But one thing what I feel is there's a lot of awareness which is required. So I'm sure this is one of the programs which will help us to achieve that objective. But we need to reach out, and education and knowledge is one thing which is missing. If that can be done, I'm sure these markets will benefit, even the end user, the exporters or importers who have been doing on this cotton, they'll be able to benefit out of this.
Chanda, could you tell us how aware are producers about the benefits that they can can get from hedging. What is the kind of mix of clients that you see? Are they largely retail, or are they there's a good amount of producers as well in that?
So hedging, hedging is very important for any businesses actually today. MCX have varieties of so many contracts like gold, mini, gold 1 kg bar, even in silver, in base metals also too. The most thing is how do you analyze the hedging? The main point, like you will be seeing the prices in the MCX in the televisions. So how do you derive that that prices is right or wrong? First point. So today, you will be seeing the gold rate at 31,560. That is what in the MCX rates. Now you have to understand why this 31,560 has come from where. Basically, those rates will be quoted by the hedgers like us. We provide the quotes in the markets like me. So many people are there in country. Where provide. Whenever you take the product, you have to see what is the prices of international, what are those rates, and what are the tax compliances as the Indian custom duty takes, and what is the conversion rates, what are the transportation cost. Then finally it comes the final prices for you. Then you have to compare with that rate with an MCX, and you have to hedge your risk. When you are importing so much of raw material into the country, and you need to buy those things, and there is no immediate demand in the market actually. But the imports has to be settled, and it has to be taken deliveries, and we may not know when these stocks will be consumed in the local markets. To cover that risk, we have to hedge in the MCX too. We have to monitor all kind of government taxes, rates, risk, materialized. As SAR says, you need to see international geopolitical situations and all those things. So it is always better to do business with hedging concepts. Those tools has to be introduced into all business, so that success will be good in way.
So Chittaranjan, what is the exchange doing kind of to popularize this whole concept with producers?
See, right. I just want to add one more thing, संतोष, कि जब हम ये hedging की बात करते हैं, see practically speaking किसी भी physical market player का या किसी corporate का commodity पे exposure होता है ना, उसके दो ही प्रकार हैं. One is either he is buying first and selling later. So which means, the example what he gave कि jeweler का जो business है उसमें वो रोज के रोज gold खरीदता है, jewelry बनाता है, and then he hopes that jewelry will be sold sometime. So here he is buying first and selling later. And another thing could be जहाँ पे tender है कि मैं पहले बेचता हूँ, so order comes to me first, and I am buying my raw material later. So the time difference between these two, मैंने खरीदने के बाद मैं कब बेचूंगा ये मुझे पता नहीं है, या मैंने बेच दिया है मैं कब खरीदूंगा मुझे पता नहीं है. इस दौरान भाव बदल सकता है, and that is what one needs to hedge. So it is as simple as this. अगर आप जॉब वर्क कर रहे हैं कि आपको कॉपर दिया जा रहा है, आप कन्वर्ट करके फैन बना करके दे रहे हैं और हर फैन का आपको X रुपया मिलता है, उसमें तो हेज करने की जरूरत नहीं. सो इशू ये है कि सबसे पहले हमको यही समझ में आना चाहिए कि हमारा एक्सपोजर जो है मैं पहले खरीद रहा हूँ बाद में बेच रहा हूँ इसलिए हेज करना है, या पहले बेच रहा हूँ फिर करना. सो इट्स एज सिंपल एज दिस. नाउ our effort from the exchange point of view is only constantly imparting this idea to the physical market. We just reach out to all the physical market associations, like there are a host of them across India, to tell them this simple message कि आपके बिजनेस के हिसाब से अगर आपने आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया कि मैं पहले बेच रहा हूं और बाद में खरीद रहा हूं, या पहले बेच रहा हूं या पहले खरीद रहा हूं, either ways you have to just create a strategy which is as per that. Beyond that, it's a view-based thing which is anybody's right. बिजनेस रिलेटेड है, फिजिकल मार्केट रिलेटेड है, देन यू हैव टू वेरी क्लियर. और आप जो फिजिकल मार्केट में कर रहे हैं उसका अपोजिट आपको फ्यूचर्स मार्केट में करना है, दैट इज दी हेजिंग. एंड इम्पार्टिंग दैट नॉलेज इज व्हाट आवर आइडिया इज. वी हैव क्रिएटेड लॉट ऑफ लिटरेचर व्हिच इज देयर ऑन आवर वेबसाइट, hedging brochures and this thing, explaining this thing in much more greater detail. And जितने भी टैक्स के incidences हैं are also explained in greater detail in those. I am sure कि a lot of people may not know that the income tax provides for tax benefits under the section 43(5) for hedgers, wherein if you are making or losing money on MCX is in the physical books offsettable against the physical turnover of goods. So it is not that मैंने पैसा बनाया नुकसान हो गया क्योंकि वो जो भी कुछ हो रहा है that is against the offset of the physical book. So whether you make money, whether you lose money, at the end of the day, if you are able to explain it to your CA, he can get you that 43(5) exemption to really treat it as a hedging rather than speculative gains and losses. It will become a hedging and it will get offsetted. All of this literature is there on our website. We try to explain it to more and more people we meet, and also like to highlight that very like what Ramesh was mentioning. With the entities like Ramesh's, we actually want to reach out to the audience to tell them the same message constantly, that hedging is a different aspect, treat it differently, and it comes with a host of benefits which are entangled with it, and that's the idea with which we work.